So like in some of those shows you'll see on TV, someone it's like they're sitting in an armchair in a library or something. They're maybe like reading a bedtime story to the kids when they're watching TV. Obviously, it's not a kid's story or anything; it's just a poem. But it's that sort of setting, if you like. So imagine you're in a big armchair, quite relaxed, very comfortable. You've got a sense of authority. You being the storyteller, in a way, the storyteller decides what happens. They're sort of in control, even though they're reading from something they have no control over. They're in control. So you can act somewhat authoritative, not that it necessarily works with the piece, but an air of authority around you maybe. You're in charge. I'm the director, but you're in charge.
Yeah.
You're the puppet. So this poem, this part from a poem by T.S. Eliot based on from the play The Rock, for which he wrote all the choruses, just to provide some context to anyone who's watching. I'm going to be doing some camera movements, but you go when you're ready.
The dressed altar. The lifting light. 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 The visible reminder of invisible light.
In this scene, this character and the one that's standing next to him, which you can't see, have killed some people because they're hitmen, and they're now burning the bodies to get rid of the evidence. So, Aaron / Puppet, could you tell me, if anything, what do you know about this role already?
All I know of this thing that you're talking about is the director, Ben Wheatley.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the director.
Yeah.
I just know that the name rings a bell.
That's fine. That's good. So, I said in the script that the character, and this is only my own interpretation again from watching the film, he feels a certain amount of guilt because he's not mad. He's not an insane murderer. It's like lost the plot. He very much, knows understands his surroundings, his whereabouts. He's got his marbles. So he feels guilt for having killed these people, but he's not so full of what you might call remorse. He does feel like he's done this for the right reasons, or rather that in this line. Can you deliver the line so we can analyse it quickly?
They're bad people. They deserve to suffer.
Very well said. So he's sort of almost trying to make up an excuse for what he's done. He doesn't necessarily even believe that. He's just trying to find some way to rationalise things.
He's trying to think of a good enough reason
to
explain why he's done something like this.
Yeah. And maybe that is good enough because they're bad. He's just come to terms with things, really.
Just face the facts that this is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
This is the only good way that he can think of.
Yeah. He has to do this. He works 1 week in 6 months, and he earns enough money from this job, and so he thinks that's great. But this is the area he should be in, being a hitman. So we're going to go for a take. When you're ready. This lighting, I'm just going to say it's supposed to look like fire. It kind of does. It's the right colour. It's not really flickering or anything, but when you're ready, I want you to act very calm and relaxed while you deliver lines, which isn't what you'd expect in this context, would you? But it is somewhat, it kind of adds to sort of his feeling of being innocent.
They're bad people. They deserve to suffer.
Okay, so my actor is here with me. We're going to do the first part of the script, which is Don Draper selling an advertisement for the product Carousel. So have you done any research, and what do you know about Don Draper?
I know that Don Draper is a businessman of the kind.
Yeah.
He works within the marketing business.
Yeah.
Judging by the footage
Yeah.
that you've given me. I watched the video numerous times, and he's basically trying to sell this product entitled the Carousel to a bunch of people, and he's giving his pitch.
Yeah. So maybe you've given pitches before, probably maybe just in sort of lessons or something.
More
you
or
know,
less.
yeah, you've had to sort of. You have to sort of. It's partly convincing people. On the show, is identity and memory. Now, Don Draper is the perfect candidate for a character about identity, since Don Draper is not his real name. He stole it. And memory, obviously this is partly about childhood, you know, and it's like it says, travel the way a child travels. You know, a lot of people wish they could be young again, and that's part of the attraction of Carousel. You look at memories, photographs.
Nostalgia. It's delicate, but potent. Teddy told me that in Greek, nostalgia literally means the pain from an old wound. It's a twinge in your heart, far more powerful than memory alone. This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. It goes backwards and forwards. It takes us to a place where we ache to go again. It's not called the wheel. It's called the carousel. It lets us travel the way a child travels. Around and around, and then back home again, to a place where we know we're loved.